Hi, my name is Esther. This is podcast number 4. This is my knitting podcast. Today is April 12th. It is a Friday and it's around 1 p.m. I have a window on this side, so that's where all my light is coming from. And let's begin. So I will be following the normal knitting podcast format, which is finished objects, current works in progress, and then any future plans, and then acquisitions at the very end, which I don't have any acquisitions. And then maybe I'll do some life update, though I really don't have that much to update about that either. So yeah, let's go into finished objects. So I have two, which both of them I'm very excited about. I have a pair of socks, which are these. I finished a pair of DRK Everyday Socks. This is a pattern by Andrea Mowry. I did modify the pattern a little bit. So the pattern is usually in a 2x2 rib, and then I did a 3x1. I just think the 3x1 rib shows the variegation of the yarn just better. It shows the colors. This yarn is Lavender Yarn Co. in the colorway 200. My husband got it for me when he was visiting Black Squirrel, their store in Berkeley, California. So that's where he got it, but I'm pretty sure you could find it at other places as well. So yeah, I did put in a little slip stitch heel, or I think it's called the heel turn. The pattern does a stockinette heel turn, and I've done the stockinette heel turn. It fits beautifully, but I just kind of wanted to see what a slip stitch heel turn would look like, and what it did for at least my pair was that it shortened the heel, which is not surprising since it is a slip stitch, but it still fits perfectly fine. I do not think I would make that modification again though, simply because when I'm wearing these socks, the cuff of the sock is not parallel to the ground, and I don't think that bothers most people, but for me it bothers me just slightly. But that doesn't bother me enough that I wouldn't wear these. So yeah, my socks. These are on Sock Blockers. I just got them on Amazon. They're really nice. Oh no, these ones I got from my local yarn store, which is the Yarn Maven in Smyrna, Delaware. These are a size small sock blockers. I wear a size 6.5 women's shoe size, so I don't know if that's really relevant to know, but yeah. To be honest, I don't remember how many rows I did or what size I did, but yeah, I do wear a 6.5 women's shoe size, so that fits my foot. My second FO, which I'm super excited about and I have already worn, is my No Sweatshirt. So this is my No Sweatshirt. This is a pattern by Park Williams. I knit this in Noro Kakagori colorway number 29, which I got from Fiberspace in Alexandria, Virginia. It is a hoodie, so I did finish the hood. I finished both sleeves. The sleeves are slightly they decrease to the very end, and I did crop it. Well, the pattern is already cropped, so technically if I follow by some pattern, I knit it to pattern. But it is a cropped sweatshirt by design. So yeah, I did the cuffs on the arm for 2 inches. And then I did a tubular bind off on both the cuffs and the bottom hem. The hem I did 1.5 inches. I just got tired of doing run by run rib, to be honest, but it doesn't bother me enough to, like, I don't need the hems of my body to match the length of the cuff. It doesn't bother me enough to really care. But yes, I did not do the I-cord or the casing for the I-cord on the hood, though if it bothers me enough, or if I find a need for it, I can always add it in later. The modifications. So, other than not adding in the I-cord casing and the I-cord itself, the only other modification I did was I did not add the body shaping. I don't enjoy body shaping. I don't like it when my shirts taper in at the waist. It is flattering. It is flattering for a lot of body figures, but for me, it's just an unnecessary step, and I don't like how it feels. So I didn't add it. So yeah, those are my only two modifications. I do plan on making another one. I already have yarn in my stash to make another one. I have some Berroco cotton blend. I would knit a size down. So I believe I knit a size 4. And based on the pattern, that is my correct size. With the circumference of my full bust plus the positive ease that is intended for the pattern. That being said, the Berroco I don't have enough. I would need to buy another skein to begin with. I only have 300 grams. This took around 450. Yeah, about 450. So I would need at least another skein, which would get me to 400 grams. And this is slightly oversized. And yes, I did not add the waist shaping, but already around the chest area, it is slightly bigger than what I imagined I would be wearing this as. So I think I'm going to go down a size. And hopefully getting 400 grams of that yarn will be enough. I don't enjoy having a lot of leftovers. I just don't know what to do with leftovers. So yeah, that's my plan. I have learned through this project, and this is my, I think, 5th sweater that I've knit overall in the past couple of years. I've learned that my upper bust is very different from my full bust. And my full bust is it's not where most garments will hit. So if I want a pattern to fit me, in my opinion, better on my body shape and just my preference of how I look, I should probably go off the measurements of my upper bust rather than my full bust. That being said, that does make me a little nervous to make that change, so I'm not going to drastically change all my sweaters now. But that is something that I should keep in mind for future reference. But yeah, this is my new sweatshirt. I love it. I've worn it already. This Noro Kakegurui, I did not enjoy knitting with it. I just don't enjoy knitting with cotton. But the end product has been beautiful for this weather. And right now it's like, I believe it's around 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's sunny and beautiful, and I just want to go to the beach. But yeah, this is like the perfect spring summer hoodie. Noro Kakegurui is DK. This is also a DK weight pattern. So if you don't enjoy wearing DK in the summertime, this would also make a really great fall pattern. I'll probably knit in the fall time in wool as well. But yes, I love it. I've been wearing it. I'm so excited that it's off the needle so that I can wear it. This was definitely a product knit for me. I'm generally a process knitter, but for something that is knit in stockinette and knit in cotton, this was definitely a product to knit. So yeah, those are my 2 FOs, and I can finally move them into my closet. Yay! So next up I have WIPs, and I've been working pretty religiously on my current WIPs. I'm very proud of myself. I have done 1 new cast on, so I will start with that. So since I finished my socks, my strawberry lemonade socks, I started my brother's birthday present, his socks. So I've knit my brother a pair of socks for his birthday for the past couple of years, I believe. So it's not really surprising that I would knit him a pair of socks this year. His birthday is in July. It's at the very beginning of July, but he lives overseas, so I have to finish these by the mid of June to guarantee that it'll get there in time. So I have plenty of time. I will probably finish this way ahead of time. But these are the pair of socks I'm knitting for my brother. These are cuff down. These are the Sunday sock pattern from the Weekend Sock collection. I can't remember the designer name, and that's gonna bug me. Everything is linked in my Ravelry page, so if you truly are curious about it, you can find it on there. But yeah, this is the Sunday pattern, and I love a patterned sock, even if it's not as mindless as I probably should keep gift knits. But yeah, I'm still on the leg. This is a 4-row repeat, so it's really easy to memorize. I am knitting, I believe it's like the size 3. I'm not quite sure. It is a larger size than what I would usually cast on for myself. I don't want to give like stitch numbers because this is a paid for pattern. Her patterns though are super affordable. This collection was a set of 3 patterns for the price of, I believe, $7. So it's really a great price for a sock pattern. And yeah, I'm loving how it's coming up in this yarn. I didn't realize I started this project pretty late in the evening, so I didn't really think about it that much. But now that I'm looking at the sock more as I'm knitting it, I'm like, this is probably more Christmas colors than July birthday colors, but I'm still loving it. I think this pattern shows variegated yarn beautifully. Let me see. I can't remember what it's called. I have the cake right here. And I usually keep the ball band super close by. Let me see if I can find it. I hope I can, because if not, I don't know where. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, this is the sock yarn that I'm using. I got it from my local yarn shop. Again, the Yarn Maven in Smyrna. And this is the colorway Palazzo Cusco. Right here. And you can see how much I paid for it as well. So yeah. I'm loving how this is turning up. It is such a great pattern and super easy to memorize. And it's showing off the colors beautifully. I do plan on knitting myself a pair, which I was going to save until the very end, but I might as well show now. So I'm going to probably knit myself a pair of these socks in this colorway, in which I've already kicked up. I kicked this up last night. I have a problem with kicking up yarn in the middle of the night. But yeah, this yarn is super variegated, as you can probably tell. And the ball band, let me see if I can show the colors. If I can find it. Ah, there it is. Okay, so this is Wonderland Yarns in the color Marianne, I believe. Or that might be the yarn type. But this is the yarn, this is the ball band. And this might be the colorway. 32 flavors. I did get this on local yarn store day. At, again, my local yarn store. So, yeah. This is the yarn. And I'm planning to, I want to finish these socks pretty soon. Again, I do have a deadline for this. I won't have problems reaching the deadline, but I do want to finish these so that I can knit myself a pair in this. I just think it'll just be beautiful. And so, like, this yarn is just so summery and so pretty. This yarn is Christmassy, but I've already started. It's gonna be done. And I highly doubt my brother's watching this. So, there's no harm, and I don't think he's really gonna care. So yeah, that's my sock whip. I have been knitting the Musselburgh hat and the Manhattan hat, which the Manhattan hat is a gift. Those I keep in the car. and I did not bring them in. It's kind of hard to see progress on those patterns since they're hats. They're just long tubes essentially until I reach the end. So I did not bring them. I didn't show them. Let's go into my last whip accessory, which is the Vertices Unite. I did do some rows on these, but not a lot. I'm still on part 1. And yeah, I'm still just knitting away. This is a pattern by Stephen West. It is a stockinette shawl, all in fingering weight. So yeah, this is my shawl update. I did show the yarns previously in a different podcast, so but I still have them just caked up in my little bag right here. And yeah, nothing too difficult. That's my last accessory knit. And then I have several garments, as well as garments that are still languishing that need to be worked on at a later time. So my current favorite garment knit is the Straya cardigan, which I showed, I believe, as a new cast on in my previous podcast. So the Straya cardigan is a pattern by Andrea Mowry. It is a fingering weight half fisherman's rib cardigan, and so I'm still in the yoke, so it's a little hard to see, especially since I have them all kind of scrunched on a needle. I'm loving this pattern. I think it's so beautiful. I love the yarn that I'm knitting this with. This is Coast to Coast Yarn Co.'s Coffee House Fantasy Advent Calendar from 2023. And I'm just following the fade as it is, and then I'm using the full skein to do the contrast stripes. So I am currently, I believe, on my 3rd mini now. I believe. If I count my ends that I have not woven in yet, I can probably tell you. Yes, I'm on my 3rd mini. And this is my first time knitting half fisherman's rib. And it is very similar to brioche, as in almost identical to the fabric of brioche. It might actually be the same fabric as brioche. I think I prefer brioche over half fisherman's rib. Though I'm loving half fisherman's rib, and it is still a very meditative knit, brioche is just more rhythmic for me. But yeah, that's just it. I'm still loving the half fisherman's rib. I am debating on when I do split for the sleeves, which I have maybe like 3 more contrast stripes to go before I split for sleeves. I'm thinking I might knit one of the sleeves in brioche, and just to see. I will have to see if my gauge changes and all of that other jazz. But I am curious, and I'll put in a lifeline. I'm not too worried about it if it doesn't work out. Knitting is supposed to be like an experience, and that will just add to the experience of knitting this cardigan. So yeah, this is a very long-term whip. I did do, not research. I watched other podcasters talk about their Straya before I started mine, and a lot of them were saying how it's a very long whip, that it takes a long time. And I was just like, oh, okay. Because I'm a process knitter. It doesn't really matter to me how long something takes. But now knitting this, they are right. It is a very long whip. For example, I timed myself yesterday. One fisherman's rib row can take me between 10 to 15 minutes versus the stockinette row, which takes me like 3. So it's a very long process. I will say though, I do knit stockinette continental, and then I do brioche and half fisherman's rib in English throwing. So that I might be faster if I fisherman's rib continentally, possibly, But I do know that switching between my English and Continental in the middle of a project does change my gauge. So I'm not gonna try that. And I don't really feel the need to. I don't mind taking a while. My next current happiest whip is my rose cardigan, again from Andrea Mowry. I think I unintentionally joined the DRK March to May knit along by casting on all of these Andrea Mowry patterns. I didn't really think about it when I was casting them on, but it is the March to May knit along. So maybe I should add my projects in that feed. It's serendipitous, I guess. Anyway, so I'm still on the second sleeve. I'm still just knitting away. This is a Bowman sleeve cardigan that is seamed. So the seaming, well, I just need to get through the knitting part before you can even think about the seaming. But yes, I'm on the second sleeve. I've shown the first half previously, so I'm just going to show you this one. I did connect my third mini. I'm using the Knotty Pines Wildlife. It's their Advent from 2023. And I'm doing it in the fade order that it comes in. So I have some thoughts on this pattern, but I'm gonna wait until the very end because they're not really solidified. But yeah, I'm loving this pattern. I'm loving knitting on it. I love my yarn choice. I was never really a fade person, but now I'm kind of like, ooh, fade Advents are so much fun to knit on. So, and they're fades, so it's not, so they're subtly color changing, which I do prefer over color blocking, I have found. So that's my rose. I have knit on my mother's Christmas gift. So I am knitting the Houseblend cardigan for my mother for Christmas. I'm knitting this in Caron's 1 pound. And I believe the color is Sunflower or Sunshine. I'm still on the back panel, but I have gotten a lot done on it compared to previous podcasts. So I'm super proud of myself. So here's the cast on. This is also seamed cardigan. It's a long cardigan. Like, it's supposed to go to, I believe, mid-thigh or knee. My mother's a very petite woman, so it'll probably hit her knee length if I follow the pattern exactly. So but I'm not to the point in which I need to make that decision of whether I'm modifying or not. So yeah, I do typically knit a lot of my gift knits in acrylic, and I think I've talked about this before, but if I haven't, I think acrylic is a great choice for gift knits. For one thing, it's very affordable, but another thing is that it's machine washable. So I know my mother's laundry habits. She does not hand wash almost anything. She doesn't want to. I'm sure she has time to, but she just doesn't want to. And I'm not gonna make her a 100% wool sweater and then force her to change her laundry habits that she's just solidified over decades. That's really selfish of me to try to make that change for her. So I am 100% pro acrylic yarn, especially for gift knits. That's my little, I guess, acrylic yarn soapbox that nobody needs to know about. And my last whip, which I am really loving and I've gotten so much progress on, is my Penguono. So this was a new cast on for sure in my last podcast, I think. And now I'm not so for sure. This is a pattern by Stephen West. It is well, I'm knitting it as a scrappy jacket, but you don't have to make it scrappy at all if you don't want to. So I have finished the back panel. I've done the welts on the left side, and I have done I believe in his pattern this is called the left back, and then I'm on the left underarm, in which I've just keeping my yarn here because I do know that eventually this underarm will extend, so I'm just keeping the yarn here so that I don't forget that I have it. This is a scrappy project, so I will forget all the yarn eventually as this pattern grows. But yeah, so this is where I'm at. I'm probably going to start with the right side next, just so that it evens out, because right now it's a little hard to show, seeing how this side is so much heavier. I'm still using all of the scraps from the Pokemon or Fangirl Fibers Pokemon Advent from 2023. And I'm looking, it's right over here. I have like maybe 30 grams left of this Advent. This was a 31-day Advent. 31 days of 20-gram minis. So it's a lot of yarn. And I already knit a Fantastitch, which is a huge shawl by West Knits, or Stephen West. So that just tells you how much yarn these Advents give you. But yeah, I'm loving the Penguono. This is a very modular pattern. And I've never really knit a lot of things modularly. And you need the pattern. You definitely should buy the pattern. There's no way that you could just make this up in your mind. But knitting modularly is very seamless. It's very mindless because it just makes sense when you think about it. That being said, only Stephen West could possibly think of knitting this jacket the way that he has designed it. And I love it. It's so much fun, and it's using up so much scraps, which is a godsend, really, in my current yarn stash situation. But yeah, this is the Penguono. This is gonna be 100% wool scraps, mostly because I have enough wool scraps to make this Penguono 100% wool scraps. So this is definitely not a summer knit. I probably would start wearing this maybe in September. So there is no time rush at all to finish this or to knit it. That being said, I'm probably gonna finish this before I finish half my other projects because I'm just enjoying it that much. So yeah, I do have a low stitch marker here. I haven't moved it from the back panel. This really is just showing me like where the front or where the right side of the knitwear is. So yeah, I'm loving this Penguono. And that is all of my whips. I have not touched my Amadou cardigan, and I still have not frogged my tessellated vest. So those are still on the back burner. But I'm not worried about it. It'll get it done eventually. I'm just not in the mood to frog something when I have so many whips that are already giving me joy. And I am not in the mood to pick up sleeves, especially on a 100% cabled cardigan. Yeah. So yeah, that is everything. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I hope you guys have a nice day. Bye.